Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're zeroing in, really focusing on just one absolutely critical day in AI, October 22nd, 2025. A day packed with updates.
It really was. And what the sources clearly show is this massive strategic shift. The old model war, who has the smartest algorithm, that seems to be over.
Right.
Now it's all about the interface and workflow war. Who controls the place where you actually interact with the AI?
So that's our goal today. We want to quickly pull together the key moves we saw across products, the underlying infrastructure, and importantly, governance, all from that single day.
Exactly. It feels like we saw three major forces really colliding. First, just massive, massive amounts of capital pouring into infrastructure.
Okay.
Second, this intense fight to own the user's workflow, whether that's your browser, your car, maybe even your glasses. And third, governments scrambling to set up rules around safety, but also, crucially, sovereignty. So yeah, let's unpack what this pivot really means.
Okay, let's start there with the interface. Probably the biggest news was OpenAI launching ChatGPT Atlas. That's their new browser for macOS.
Yeah, and it's explicitly AI native. This isn't just about tweaking search. It's a fundamental challenge to how we interact online.
So more than just a search competitor.
Oh, much more. They're trying to embed the AI at the browser level. Think of it like trying to become the default intelligence layer for, well, everything you do digitally.
And they packed it with features, right? Like that integrated sidebar.
Right, the sidebar gives you context-aware help. But the really interesting part is the premium agent mode.
Agent mode, what does that do?
Well, it's designed to handle complex multi-step tasks for you. Things like, say, planning and booking a whole trip, comparing options across different sites. And it uses this browser memory feature to personalize everything. It learns your preferences, your habits.
So what here is distribution?
Precisely. If you control the browser, you control the main interface. The back-end model, even if slightly less capable, becomes less important if your competitor owns the screen you look at all day.
That's a bold move, making the browser the moat, not just the model.
It's a huge gamble. They're basically betting that the utility is so high, users will adopt it quickly, maybe faster than regulators can react to the competitive implications.
Right, because that does sound like it could attract some antitrust attention down the line.
Absolutely. Calculated risk.
Okay, so that's the digital front. But we also saw AI moving more into the physical world, didn't we? Like with cars.
Yeah, exactly. General Motors announced they're putting Google's Gemini AI assistant into pretty much their whole lineup: Buick, Chevy, Cadillac, GMC, starting in 2026.
So your car dashboard becomes a conversational AI interface.
Right. And look at Amazon. They started piloting AI-powered smart glasses for their delivery drivers.
Smart glasses, how does that work?
Well, it gives drivers hands-free info right in their line of sight. Package scanning, directions, hazard warnings. It's about boosting efficiency and safety on that last mile.
Interesting. Real-world workflow integration.
And it's not just work. Look at Snapchat. They made their Imagine Lens AI image generator free for all US users.
Keeping the younger users hooked.
Basically, yeah. It shows generative AI isn't some niche tech anymore. It's like table stakes for social media now. Okay, so we've seen these interface plays, but none of this works without absolutely enormous back-end infrastructure. And the cost was becoming astronomical.
Right, the scale of investment. You mentioned massive capital. Can you give us some figures? Just how high is this barrier to entry becoming?
It's genuinely staggering. Take the Stargate project. That's the OpenAI, Oracle, and SoftBank collaboration. The updates on October 22nd suggest they're now planning for nearly 7 gigawatts of power capacity.
7 gigawatts?
And the investment figure being thrown around is over $400 billion over just 3 years.
$400 billion.
That's more than the GDP of quite a few countries. We're talking nation-state level spending. It basically shuts out almost everyone except the biggest tech giants and maybe governments.
Wow. Okay, so if you can't build it yourself, you have to buy access, right? We saw moves there too.
Exactly. Anthropic was reportedly negotiating a huge cloud deal with Google. The numbers mentioned were potentially in the high tens of billions of dollars.
Just for compute access.
Just to secure the sheer amount of compute they need for training and running their future models. It's less a simple purchase, more a strategic necessity.
And SoftBank raising money specifically for this.
Yeah, planning a bond sale. Around $2 billion, explicitly earmarked for AI expansion funding. It just underscores how capital-intensive this race has become.
Okay, with costs and power needs like that, efficiency must be critical. Any breakthroughs on the hardware side to make this well, more sustainable.
There were a couple of interesting developments. One was the next Silicon Maverick 2 processor.
Maverick 2, what's special about it?
It uses something called the data flow architecture. It's different from standard chips, and they claim it can deliver up to 10 times the performance using 60% less power on certain complex AI tasks.
10 times performance at 60% less power. That's huge if it scales.
It could be. And then on the pure sustainability front, we saw Lambda and ECL deploy the first hydrogen-powered NVIDIA GB300 NVL72 AI systems.
Hydrogen-powered data centers.
Well, systems within them. It's a step towards potentially carbon-neutral AI infrastructure, which is going to be increasingly important given those gigawatt figures.
Okay, so the tech is scaling like crazy. Let's talk governance. The pressure seems to be mounting just as fast. We saw that big call for a ban on superintelligence, right?
Yeah, the Future of Life Institute organized it. Over
Yeah.
700 prominent names, scientists, tech figures, even celebrities, signing on to demand a global halt to artificial superintelligence ASI development until we're sure it's safe.
That's a pretty dramatic statement on the existential risk side.
It definitely raises the stakes in that debate. But we also saw more immediate practical steps on safety and security.
Like what?
Well, look at the open source world. Hugging Face partnered with VirusTotal.
VirusTotal, the malware scanning service.
Exactly. They're now continuously scanning all the models and data sets on Hugging Face. That's over 2.2 million files for malware. It's like building an immune system for the AI supply chain, a much-needed security baseline.
Okay, that's securing the tools. What about managing the output, like deepfakes and AI-generated content?
Governments are definitely moving on that. India's IT ministry proposed draft rules requiring clear labeling of AI-generated content.
Clear labeling how?
They're getting specific. Labels would need to be visibly displayed, taking up like 10% of the visual area, or announced audibly in audio-video content.
10%, that's quite prominent.
It is. It shows they're serious about transparency.
And then there's the whole sovereignty angle, how governments are choosing which AI to use.
Right. And we saw two really distinct approaches emerge on the same day. In the UK, the Ministry of Justice is rolling out ChatGPT Enterprise to thousands of civil servants.
Okay, using a leading external provider.
Yes, but significantly, OpenAI supported this by launching a new UK-based data residency option. So it's about using top tech while trying to manage data sovereignty risks.
Got it. And the contrast was France.
France went the other way. They announced their public sector AI assistant would be powered by Mistral AI, their domestic champion.
Ah, the national champion route.
Exactly.
Oh,
Prioritizing data sovereignty and technological independence above all else, even if maybe the domestic model isn't quite as advanced yet as the global leaders, it really highlights that core tension, capability versus control.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Away from policy, back to the core science. There was a pretty mind-bending piece of research from Google DeepMind, wasn't there?
Oh, absolutely. This one felt foundational. They used a meta-learning approach, basically AI teaching AI to discover a completely new reinforcement learning RL algorithm.
And AI discovered a new algorithm.
Yeah, and the kicker is, this new AI-discovered algorithm outperformed all existing human-designed RL algorithms on standard tests, like playing Atari games.
Wait, so the AI designed a better way to learn than humans have managed to?
That's what the results suggest.
Yeah.
It's huge because it hints at a future where AI systems don't just get better because we feed them more data, but because they fundamentally invent better ways to learn for themselves.
That could really accelerate things, couldn't it?
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
Exponentially, even.
Okay, wow. So while that's happening, what about improving the LLMs we have now? Any progress on making them smarter or more efficient?
Yes, a couple of things. One paper introduced this guess then refine framework.
Guess then refine.
It sheds light on how LLMs seem to work internally. The research suggests the early layers of the network make quick, statistical guesses about what word comes next, based on patterns.
Okay.
And then the deeper layers refine those guesses, adding context, grammar, and making it sound coherent.
So what's the practical implication of knowing that?
Well, it could mean that for certain tasks, you might be able to simplify or prune those early layers to make the models run much faster and cheaper, especially for inference.
Ah, okay. Efficiency gains. And what about memory? LLMs sometimes forget things they learned earlier, right?
That's catastrophic forgetting.
Yeah.
And another piece of research showed that using reinforcement learning for training seems to make LLMs less prone to this forgetting compared to standard fine-tuning methods. They hold on to older knowledge better.
So, better learning retention. Got it. And then, way out on the cutting edge, quantum computing.
Yeah, a quick but notable mention. Google Quantum AI announced their Quantum Echoes algorithm. Running on their Willow quantum processor, it apparently solved a specific physics simulation task 13,000 times faster than Frontier, the world's top classical supercomputer.
13,000 times faster.
That's the claim. A verifiable quantum advantage for that specific problem. Still early days for general quantum computing, but milestones like these keep adding up. All right, so we've covered the breakthroughs, the interfaces, the funding, but what about the messy reality of actually using all this AI at scale? October 22nd gave us glimpses of the growing pains, too.
Like what? Things breaking.
Well, sometimes, yes. But also organizational shifts. Look at Meta. They cut 600 AI positions, primarily from their FAIR Research Lab and Superintelligence Unit.
Cut 600 jobs. Why?
The stated reason was to streamline decision-making and double down focus purely on building their next generation of foundation models. It shows the immense pressure to focus resources and execute quickly.
So the cost of staying competitive isn't just money, it's also intense organizational focus, sometimes meaning painful cuts.
Exactly. And then there's the technical debt aspect for developers building on these platforms.
Technical debt, how does that apply to AI models?
Anthropic announced they were retiring older versions of their Claude Sonnet 3.5 models.
Okay, standard software lifecycle, right?
Sort of, but the pace is much faster. This creates what people are calling model debt. If your application relies on a specific model version via an API, and that version gets retired quickly, you're forced into this constant cycle of migrating and testing against new model versions.
Ah, so it's a continuous maintenance burden driven by the AI provider's rapid updates.
Precisely. It's a real operational headache. And sometimes things just break. There was a report of a critical bug in OpenAI's real-time API that day.
What happened?
It caused complete audio failures for applications using it for real-time voice interactions. Just stopped working.
Ouch. That highlights the fragility, doesn't it? Moving from cool demos to reliable production systems is still hard.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And the market is definitely reacting to these risks. We saw consolidation in the GRC space. That's governance, risk, and compliance.
Right. You mentioned Audit Board.
Yeah, Audit Board acquired FairNow, which is specifically an AI governance platform. It signals huge demand from businesses needing tools to manage the risks of deploying AI safely and legally.
Companies need help navigating this. Makes sense.
And we also saw platforms trying to offer more prepackaged solutions. Workday announced a custom AI model library for its contract intelligence agent.
A library of models for contracts.
Over 120 pre-built models designed to automate specific contract review tasks across HR, finance, legal, basically trying to make AI adoption easier and safer within existing enterprise workflows. Productizing trust, as you said.
Okay, so wrapping up this incredibly dense day, October 22nd, 2025. The big takeaways seem to be, 1, the fight for the user interface is heating up fast Atlas AI in cars.
Definitely. 2, the cost of entry for building foundational AI infrastructure is now almost impossibly high for most. That $400 billion Stargate figure really drives that home.
Right. And 3, governments are getting serious, really serious about both managing AI risk and ensuring they have some level of control or sovereignty.
Those are the key strategic currents, absolutely.
That's it.
But if I had to pick one thread that maybe feels the most profound, looking longer term,
Go on.
it gets back to that deep mind research, the AI discovering a better learning algorithm than humans could. If that trend continues, if AI systems keep getting better at improving themselves, well, the provocative question becomes, can our human-designed rules, our governance frameworks, our safety protocols, possibly keep pace with systems that are, by their very nature, accelerating their own improvement faster than we can understand, let alone regulate them?
That is the question, isn't it? The pace of the technology versus the pace of human adaptation and control. A huge challenge ahead. Thank you for helping us break down this pivotal day.
Glad to be here. It was quite a day to analyze.
And for everyone listening, keep questioning, keep exploring the implications. The ground is shifting fast.